Hi friends, Reyna here. And so for our yin flow this month, since we're working so much on standing balances in some of our vinyasa classes, that's a lot of leg work. And so I really wanted this class, and I want this class to be kind of a refuge from that. And so we're going to be really gentle with our flow portion, and we're going to do some wall work. So obviously you can see I'm not set up by a wall right now just because of my filming angle, but at a certain point I will switch kind of angles and be near a wall. It's just like a little bit of a less appealing kind of angle to film, but I would like you to try to set up near a wall. It doesn't matter which way your mat is facing because we're going to kind of put our legs up on the wall and work with that shape. So as long as you have access to a wall, a little bit of space on that wall. And for this class, I do recommend having a bolster or a couple blankets. And so you can take a couple blankets and kind of like fold them up and make a little stack, and that's totally fine. And as always, I have a few blocks here. If you cannot set up by a wall, you can use a couch or a bed if your bed is kind of low. You'll have to modify a few things, but overall the experience will be pretty similar. So when you're ready, we will get started in a comfortable seat. And for this, I do recommend popping your bolster or your blankets under your bottom, giving your hips that little lift, bringing the hands to the thighs, and just allowing the eyes to close or finding a nice soft gaze. And just giving yourself the space to settle in. Maybe rocking the head a little side to side or wiggling the rib cage and the hips. Kind of like you're digging yourself into the sand a little bit. And just preparing yourself to really slow down here. To embrace all the things that we so often fight against, the slow, the still, the soft. And reminding yourself that this is what reminding yourself that this next hour is for just that. It's for the stillness, for the slow, for the softness. Taking a little scan of your body, just seeing how you're feeling. Always giving yourself permission to adjust, readjust, especially as we enter some longer holds today. There doesn't have to be a final destination or a final posture. Seeing where you can soften, maybe the jaw, maybe the belly. Maybe you wiggle the eyebrows to soften the space in between. Good. Bringing one hand over the belly and one hand over the chest. And if it feels more comfortable to only hover the hands, you're totally welcome to do that. And feeling the heartbeat, feeling the rise and fall of the belly with the breath. And slowly blinking the eyes open, taking in the space around you, refocusing. And on an inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale to cactus the arms nice and wide, lift the chest. Good. 2 more like that. Inhale to reach. Exhale, cactus the arms wide. Good. Inhale, reach. Exhale, cactus the arms wide. Holding here for 3, for 2. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, twist to the right, bringing the left hand to the right knee. Right hand can rest on the ground, on your lower back, or on your blankets or bolster. Little lift of the chest, a nice easy twist here. Good, big breath in. Exhale to untwist, reach the arms overhead. Inhale. Exhale, twist left, right hand comes to left knee, left hand, just find something to rest onto comfortably. Good, big breath in. Exhale, untwist, arms overhead. Inhale. Exhale, arms by the sides. Good. Extending the legs out into kind of a bear stance is what we call it. Bringing the heels to the ground and not going too wide here. So just finding kind of like this comfortable, sustainable width. Bring your hands to the insides of the legs, sit up nice and tall, and just spend a moment here. Lifting up, feeling length in the back. Taking a few rounds of breath. Good. Bringing the hands to press together in front of the chest. We'll just windshield wiper our legs left and right. So take a big breath in, lift the heart. Exhale as you drop legs towards the right. Good. Inhale to center. Exhale, drop the legs left. Good. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop the legs right. Inhale, center. Exhale, legs left. Good. One more. Inhale to center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Good. Inhale to center. Release the arms by the side. Come off your bolster or your blankets. Just slide yourself forward and then slide your bolster back. Returning to this bear stance here. Stance. Inhale to lift the chest. Exhale, drop the legs to the right. Let the chest turn. Hands come to frame the body. And finding where you are here, if you'd like to fold forward in this deer pose, you're certainly welcome to. But if not, you can stay tall. If you do have a bolster, you can kind of shove it into the ground, get a little traction there, and then rest forward. And we'll spend about a minute here. So find something that feels sustainable, letting yourself fold forward as much as you'd like. Even just a small drop of the chin to the chest can feel restful. And the beauty of these long held postures, we can really sink in to the experience of the posture, which sometimes really gets lost when we move fast. Feeling the sensations of the body. And if we have the right support, we can experience the stretch, the space we create, a little bit of muscle release without putting in a whole lot of effort. It doesn't mean it's less intense, but it does mean our muscles can kind of relax and we can get more into the connective tissues. And that's why we use props in yin. Okay. And slowly coming up. Set the bolster to the side if you're using it, but keep it nearby because we'll just switch sides from here. So inhale to come to center. Exhale, drop the legs left, chest spins, and I grab my bolster. Setting up for deer pose. Good. So finding where you are on this side and recognizing we can experience the same sensations with the posture looking very, very different. So my left hip is a lot less mobile than my right because of a previous injury. And so my poses look different, and that's okay. Because the aesthetics, especially for yin, really, really not important. So settle in. We'll spend about a minute here. And as the mind wanders, I encourage you to make your choice. You can actively really try to keep the mind present here by focusing on, again, those physical sensations, or maybe the breath, a single word or a single thought. Or you can intentionally choose to dream and to wander and to let the mind kind of play. But whatever you do, I want you to choose it. Really make the choice and see if you can actively and intentionally live in that choice instead of the mind just kind of bouncing around as it so often likes to. Good, slowly coming up. Set the bolster to the side. Come back to center, and then swing the legs around and come into tabletop. So this is a yin flow class, and so we will flow a little just to get some warmth in the body. So on an inhale, drop the belly, find cow pose. Exhale, round the back, cat pose. Good. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Good. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Good. Last one, inhale to cow. Exhale, cat. Good. Inhale, cow pose. Tuck the toes and exhale into downward facing dog. Pedaling the feet, wiggling the hips, just finding space, finding movement here. I like to kind of wag my tail from side to side. And we don't spend a lot of time in down dog in my classes, honestly, but especially not in a yin flow class. We might do 3, maybe 5 of these. But you're always welcome to explore them when you'd like. Good. Rolling forward, lower the knees to the earth. Walk the hands just slightly to the right side of your mat, just a little, just to make space for your left foot to step up, just outside your left hand. Good. You can bring a block under your right hand if you'd like. Bring the left hand to the left knee. Look forward. Take a big breath in. Exhale, straighten the left leg, send the hips back. Good. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, back. Good. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Beautiful. 2 more. Inhale, forward, look ahead. Exhale, back. Last one. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Good. Inhale to come forward. Both hands to the ground. Exhale. Slide the left leg under the body. Remove the block. Take a big breath in. Find cow pose. Tuck the toes and exhale. Downward facing dog. Good. Roll forward. Drop the knees. Find tabletop. And then walk your hands a little to the left. Make space for the right foot to step up. Just outside the right hand. And again, you can bring a block under your left hand. Right hand comes to the right knee. Look out ahead. Nice tall chest. Inhale. Exhale, half split, straighten the front leg. Good. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, back. Good. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Good. 2 more. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Last one. Inhale into your lunge. Exhale, back into half splits. Good. Inhale, move forward. Exhale, hands to the earth. Move that block. Good. Inhale, right knee comes under the body. Exhale. Good. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking a few rounds of breath here. Good. Looking between the hands and walking your feet towards the top of your mat. Finding a forward fold here, making space between the feet. Room for the belly, room for the chest. Good. Grabbing the elbows with the hands, gently sway the upper body side to side, finding ragdoll. Good. Coming back to center slowly. Release the arms down towards the earth. Bend the knees. Big breath in rolls you up to standing. Taking your time. Maybe bouncing a little along the way. Arms hang by the side. Give yourself a moment to adjust to your new level. Good. Inhale the arms overhead. Interlace the fingers. Make like a little finger gun where you point your index finger towards the sky and straighten the arms. If this isn't available today, you can press the palms together or make only the fist part without the index finger pointing. Trying to make some contact. And if that's not available, hands can be spread apart as if you're kind of holding a ball between them. We're just looking for some action and engagement in the arms. Good. Inhale, lift up nice and tall. Exhale, side bend to the right. Good. Anchoring the left heel and the left hip towards the earth. Good. Gently pulling the left hip back in space as the right moves forward. Good. Inhale to center. Exhale, side bend left. Good. Anchoring that right heel down, the right hip towards the earth. Good. Then pulling the left hip just a little back in space. Good. Inhale to center. Keep the hands together if they're bound. Exhale, start to hinge the hips. Fold forward, really staying long in the spine. And then once you hit your fold, release the arms towards the ground. On an inhale, take a halfway lift. Hands can come to the shins or your blocks. Exhale to fold. Step the right toes to the back of the mat. Lower the right knee. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Holding here for 3. For 2. Good. Take a big breath in. Exhale, hands to the earth or your blocks. Lift the back knee and step up into your forward fold. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms overhead. Interlace the hands just as before. Exhale, side bend right. Good. Inhale to center. Exhale, side bend left. Inhale to center. Exhale, fold forward, nice long spine. Release the hands towards the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Left toe step to the back of the mat. Lower the knee. On an inhale, reach the arms overhead, low lunge. Holding here for 3. For 2. Big breath in. Exhale, hands to the earth or your blocks. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee, and step up into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms overhead. This time, press the palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Big round of breath. Good. Inhale, arms overhead. Interlace the hands like before. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, side bend left. Inhale, center. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step the right toes back, lower the knee. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, low lunge. Exhale, hands to the earth or blocks. Step forward on a breath in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms overhead. Interlace the fingers. Exhale, side bend right. Inhale to center. Exhale, side bend left. Inhale, center. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Left toes to the back of the mat. Lower the knee, and on an inhale, rise up. Low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands to the earth with your blocks. Tuck the back toes. Lift the knee and step up into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms overhead. Press the palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Release the arms by the side. Widen the stance slightly. Take a little bend of the knee. Good. Start to hinge from the hips forward. Bring your hands to your blocks. So we're at kind of a half fold here. Feet a little bit more than hips distance apart. In that halfway lift, but really supporting ourselves. Good. I want you to start to reach the right arm back with the palm facing the body. Good. When you hit that point where you can't really go anymore, I want you to flip the palm out and then circle the arm back to your block. Good. And then we'll just switch that direction. So start to reach the arm forward, palm faces out. And then when you hit that point, turn the palm in, circle the arm back to the block. Good. Other side. So left hand reaches back with the palm facing the body. Kind of hit that point of no return. Turn the palm out. Circle it forward, back to the block. Good. Other direction. Palm faces away from the body. Circle it forward. Hit that point of no return. Flip the palm in. Circle it back to your block. Inhale to really halfway lift. Press into the blocks. Look out ahead of you. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees enough to plant the hands and step back into tabletop. Good. Blocks can stay on the mat, but you may want to take your hands off them for a moment. Sit the hips back onto the heels just for a round of breath or two. Roll the wrists a little. Good. So keep your bolster or your blankets nearby. Come back to your tabletop. Walk the hands towards the right side of the mat, just a little. Step the left foot wide. So a nice wide lunge here. Left toes turn out. So think about yourself on a clock. Your head faces 12. Your left toes point towards 10 o'clock. Your left knee follows. Let the hips move forward as you walk the hands towards the top of your mat. Good. Your hands can now come back to the blocks if you'd like. Lizard lunge. Beautiful. Stay center, or if you'd like to experiment a little, start to walk your hands towards 2 o'clock. So again, you're on that clock. Your toes are pointing towards 10, and now your chest and your hands are pointing towards 2. Just kind of exploring that feeling of moving in all directions, kind of pulling ourselves apart, but still managing to substantiate, to stay grounded in our center, in our hips. Breathing here for 3. For 2. Good. Walk the hands back to the center. Start to sit the hips back, but keeping them high. So we're not resting them onto the shin or calf. Start to peel the left toes off the ground as you walk your blocks in towards your body, finding a half split, keeping the chest nice and high. Take a little bend of the left knee and then flick the tailbone towards the sky. And take just a few more rounds of breath here. Good. Rolling forward. You can set the blocks again at the top of the mat. Swing the left leg back under the body. Take a breath in, find cow pose. Tuck the toes and exhale into downward facing dog. Good. Roll forward, lower the knees. Walk the hands towards the left part of the mat, and then step the right foot nice and wide. This time your right toes face 2 o'clock, the knee follows. And then walk the hands forward as the hips move towards the top of the mat. Maybe grab those blocks. A little lizard lunge here. Keeping the chest nice and tall. And again, you can stay right here down the middle, or if you'd like, start to walk the hands towards 10 o'clock. Chest also faces 10 o'clock. Knee stays open. We're moving in all directions. We're reaching, we're working, we're balancing. And we're finding center through the effort. Finding center through the reaching, through the pulling, the holding. All these little parts bring us to balance. If one thing kind of slips here, we may just fall over. And that's okay, lesson to be learned. For 3. For 2. Good. Walk the hands back towards the center. Take a breath here. And start to sit the hips back as you straighten the right leg, moving your blocks with you. Coming into your half split, really pulling the right toes towards the body. Find a little bend in the right knee. Flick the tailbone towards the sky. Breathing here for 3, for 2. Good. Roll forward. Set the blocks just a little ahead of you and slide your right knee back under your body. Inhale to find cow pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Roll forward, lower the knees, and then sit the booty to either side. Extend the legs out in front of you. I'm just turning long ways on my mat so I can see all of you. Good. So take a moment, extend the legs, and then pull the flesh out. Thighs, booty, pull everything outward so you can really feel your sits bones root towards the earth. Good. A little flex in the feet. Sit up nice and tall and have all of your props nearby. We're going to come into a wide leg forward fold here, but I would like you to do your best to support your upper body. And so we all have different flexibility levels, different mobility. And so I want you to really try to support your upper body. And so if you have a couch nearby, you can face the couch and lean over it that way. I have my bolster here, and I can just rest my head down, but set yourself up in a little fold here. Maybe you bring your blocks under your bolster, and you can set them up like so. Kind of rest like this. Doesn't have to be fancy. You don't have to have a big fold by any means. But we'll spend about a minute here. So last call as you get set up. And now we settle in. And if your knees are super lifted off the ground, you can shove your blocks under them. You can shove some pillows or some blankets under them. We're really looking for contact here. This posture is beautiful for grounding, for really finding the center of yourself. It's said to activate our root chakra, our Muladhara chakra, which is at the base kind of the spine, but more like the perineum of the body. And so really just like the base of the self, the root of the self. And as we kind of stretch and open here, we make a lot of contact with that underside of our body to the earth. It can be really powerful, really grounding. help us slow down. And just a few more rounds of breath here. Good. Slowly coming up, and we'll make our way to the wall. Taking a moment and setting up by the wall, definitely have your bolster nearby. And now the distance your bum is from the wall is going to depend on kind of your hamstrings and how flexible they are. But just take a moment, and this is how I like to get on the wall. You're welcome to squirm and wiggle however feels best for you. But I just sit my booty like all the way kind of against the wall. And then I just lay down and swing my legs up. And I'm making a lot of contact with the wall, which is good for me. And you might want to scoot yourself back, and you can just wiggle yourself back. But just take a moment with your feet just up the wall. Seeing what feels comfortable, what feels uncomfortable. If you maybe need like a blanket or a little more support under your back, that's totally fine. Good. Taking a few breaths just here. You can point and flex the feet, roll the ankles. And our next series of postures are all going to be longer holds with our feet on the wall. And again, if you don't have a wall and you're using like some other kind of hard, flattish surface, for feet up, I would just bend your knees and rest the legs over the couch, the bed, the chair, whatever you're using, just so you can really relax. Good. And start to bend the knees. Bring the soles of the feet to the wall and take the feet nice and wide. Let the toes turn out. And think of this like malasana, so like a wide, deep squat, but maybe a more gentle version, getting a lot of hip flexion here, a lot of lower back release. This is also a great option if you're working towards just like any hip opening, happy baby, if that feels kind of out of reach. This is a very similar shape. And we'll take about 30 seconds here. So I encourage you to settle in these postures. Once you see how they're set up, close your eyes. Release the body down. Good. And keeping the knees nice and bent, start to bring the soles of the feet together, like a butterfly pose. Let the knees open wide. A little flex in the feet can help here. You can even bring the hands to the insides of the knees or the shins or thighs. Just give a little press. Good, and sliding the legs up the wall. Just straightening back out for a few rounds of breath. So we'll come into a reclined pigeon for our next kind of wall posture here. So cross your right ankle over your left leg, keeping the left leg straight to start. And you can use your hands to help and see how this feels. You may already feel the stretch. If so, stay here. If not, or if you want to go a little deeper, start to slide the left foot down the wall. And you'll eventually hit a spot where you're like, okay, that's enough. So once you find that spot, stay there. You can always deepen. And we'll spend about 2.5 minutes here. And with these postures, I want to give you space for stillness and for silence. And so I will let you know when we move on to the next side. But just as a reminder, feel free to soften, to come out, take breaks. There's nothing wrong with that. It's your practice, it's your time. Almost there. Good. Start to slide the left foot up the wall, bringing the leg back to straight, moving slow. And then just uncross the right foot. Extend both legs up the wall. You can shake the hips a little side to side, wiggle the toes, kind of shake things out. Good, and we'll come into the other side. So right leg stays straight, cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Use your hands to help if you'd like. And then start to slide that right foot down the wall. Settle in. We'll find a little space here. Almost there. And slowly begin to extend the right leg back up the wall. Reach the left leg up the wall. Give yourself any shakes, any shimmies. Good. And then start to bend the knees. Bring the soles of the feet to the wall, just enough so you can press the hips up and slide your bolster under your hips and under your bottom. And then once you put the bolster down, reach the legs back up the wall. And feel free to rest your head down. My arms are only under my head because I have a low bun in and it's just a little weird as far as the pressure on my neck. So that's all. But you can put your arms by your sides or reach them out to a T. That can feel really good. And we'll take about 2 minutes here, just with the legs up the wall, hips lifted, finding this soft, but really special, really important inversion. And so if you're someone who has lower back pain, especially if you sit often or if you're on your feet all day, really, if you feel kind of any compression in your lower back, this is a great posture for releasing. It's a great posture before bed to shift your energy. Good. And then slowly just wiggle the knees, wiggle the toes. Take the feet nice and wide, just like we did earlier, and then slide them down the wall as you bend the knees. And you can stay just like this with this really kind of wide squat. Or if you'd like, you can bring the knees towards the armpits, reach the hands to the outer edges of the feet or behind the thighs, and find happy baby here with the hips on a bolster. And I mentioned this during a Q&A if there was a question about happy baby feeling really far away. And this is a great option. This is actually my favorite way to take happy baby. You can straighten one leg, straighten the other. And you don't even really need the hands here. You're almost in a plow pose. So if you wanted to reach the feet over the head a little bit, using the hands to help and just find a stretch there. There's a lot of play that you can explore with the hips up on a bolster like this. And so see what feels good here. We'll just take a little time. Good. And then slowly bring the feet back towards the wall and then to the wall. Press the hips up, slide your bolster out. Let your back be flat for a moment. You can press the feet into the walls if you're holding yourself in a ball, like a knees to the chest kind of thing. You can even bring the hands around the knees, rock a little side to side. Good. And then either turn or scoot yourself away from the wall and just lay down flat on your back. Just going to rotate. So coming just flat on your back, extending the legs, and just feeling long. Taking a few rounds of breath, just like this. Good. And you're welcome to stay on your back. But if you're interested, I'm going to take a meditation as opposed to a shavasana. So just an upright seat, as we've been lying down a lot. So taking your time if you'd like to get up, or setting yourself up in a nice comfortable shavasana. Choice is yours. But for this, I'm going to put my bolster or my blankets right against the wall. Sit onto it. Get as close to the wall as I can. And then let my back rest against the wall. Hands come to the thighs. But wherever you are, let the eyes close. Let the breath settle back down towards the body. And just allowing yourself to be still in a few minutes of quiet meditation. And today I'll leave you here just to sit or lay quietly, taking time to really marinate in the efforts of your practice, to feel that balance that comes to the mind and to the body when we explore both sides of ourselves, both sides of the practice, the yin and the yang, and how these things just don't exist without the other. Our efforts are often working in opposition to other forces, and that's okay. As we push and pull in all these directions, we find our center and we find our balance. Thank you all so much for spending a little time and space with me. It's a pleasure and an honor to be your teacher. Take time to thank your body. Take time to be in awe of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your Shavasana or meditation. Om Shanti, Om Peace. Peace be with you all. And I'll see you next time we're on the mat together.